Well, we wanted, in the grounds of the home of the President of Ireland, to have something that would last, that would be symbolic, that would both recall the events that really led to the founding of an independent Irish state, but also would take up the language of the movement to independence and provide a vision. And that was the reason we felt that in the gardens of Áras and Uachtaráin, there should be something that celebrates this moment, and the year to do it was, of course, the year of commemoration, 2016. What we sought was a piece of public art in a garden setting. There were 35 people invited. I think 14 then came in, and then there was a short list of 5. And it was a very distinguished panel, chaired by Katrina Crowe, and this independent, distinguished panel were unanimous in giving us, if you like, the winner.
I'm Rachel Joynt, and I'm a sculptor. I guess I've been working as a sculptor for about, 25 years or so. Micheál D. Higgins and Sabina Higgins' brief was very inspiring. Very much he wrote about that he wants to think about, commemorate the past, but also to commemorate the future. And you know, that line, he actually mentioned that line in the proclamation, cherishing all children equally. I was inspired by the location, the fact that we are surrounded by oak trees, and the way they approached the sculpture, the commission and the competition. The finished project is called Dearcán na nDaoine, and People's Acorn. It's in many ways the essence of the idea is quite a simple idea. As I said, I was inspired by being here and being surrounded by the oaks, and the oak tree is our national tree. The acorn is a seed, and any seed carries its history and its future, and so very much this acorn is not an empty shell, but has within it a time capsule, as would any seed has its own natural time capsule.
I was very, very pleased with it, because the idea of we having a living representation of our lives now is very important. I think it is a really good, contestable philosophical issue as to how you deal with the issue of memory. And I like the idea very much indeed of the acorn as well, because it is, of course, the completion and the fullness or the increasing richness of what was envisaged in 1916 may yet have to come, because what was stated in the proclamation is an unfinished task, yet to be born.
From a distance, it looks like a very large acorn. It's like 3 meters long, but then on closer inspection, there are layers of other meaning. I invited the poet nDaoine, who is a poet that I greatly admire, and she also is a children's writer and a teacher. And she was, when I was developing the idea, she was interested and excited to play a part within it.
Well, I actually got an email from Rachel Joynt, the sculptor, and I was delighted to receive it because I've always admired her work. And I grew up in Dún Laoghaire, and I particularly love her mothership piece there, which is a huge seashell on the seafront. And I'd actually written a poem about it a few years ago. So when she got in touch with me and said she had this idea, I just thought, oh great. Even when I just saw the beginning of it, I thought I really want to be involved with this. So she has asked me to come on board and help with the writing aspect of it, and I'm absolutely delighted to do that, because I think the idea she has is so imaginative. What she's asked me to do is to come with her around Ireland, and we're going to gather writings from people from the age of 4 up to maybe 94 or 100, which would be fantastic to do. Gather their writings, their memories and their ideas looking forward into the future. And so that's what we're going to do, and then it'll be sealed in a time capsule and it won't be opened for 100 years. So I really think everybody involved is going to be excited about that idea.
A very important part of it is that I'm working with two generations. I'm going to be working with young people today and older people today. So very much about looking at children looking at children who were children since 1916 and children who will be our future generations.
Well, we have already dedicated a tree to Douglas the Heather and Creevin Even, Dr. Douglas Hyde, who didn't have a tree dedicated to him. We have very much nearly completed now. We'll probably install an image of the Citizen Army around that will be in the place where we have located for the 1913 Lockhart commemoration. The children of the Rising are already there.
I think everybody has been so proud in commemorating 1916, and also if you remember that this year in schools children wrote their own proclamations, so we're hoping to draw on that and build on it, and also draw on the idea that we should be proud to be Irish and proud of our history and proud of what we're hoping for in the future.
What this will mean now is that people, yes, will look, if you like, at trees planted maybe 150 years ago, but they'll also be looking at a contemporary artist in a very special year, recalling what are the founding moments of the state.